Let's say you're sorting through an old shoebox of change and a shiny 1968 quarter catches your eye. Its surfaces still gleam as if it was freshly struck. At first glance, you might shrug and toss it back into the pile, but hold on, this coin represents a unique moment in U.S. mint history. Something about that no mint mark quarter from 1968 makes it worth a second look, and by the time you finish reading, you'll know exactly why even common-looking pieces can hide surprises. During the late 1960s, the United States was adjusting to a post-silver world. In 1965, the mint removed silver from circulating coinage and began producing quarters in a copper-nickel-clad composition. By 1968, quarters carried no mint mark, an intentional decision to discourage hoarding amid growing metal shortages. Both Denver and San Francisco struck 1968 quarters, but neither bore their respective D or S marks. Instead, mountains of these clad quarters flooded circulation as the government sought to replenish coin stocks nationwide. While over 270 million were produced in Denver and roughly 170 million in San Francisco's proof sets, the lack of mint marks and the sheer volume might suggest an entirely lackluster collectible, and yet, appearances can be deceiving. To spot a valuable 1968 quarter, you need to look for die errors and condition nuances. The most famous variety for this year is the double die obverse. On these rare examples, you'll see subtle doubling on the date or the lettering Liberty and In God We Trust. It's faint, almost ghostly, so a magnifier or keen eyesight is necessary. Only a few thousand examples exist in uncirculated condition, making them a prized find. On the reverse, some specimens display die cracks, fine fissures crossing the eagle's wing or slicing through the phrase, $quarter. Although less dramatic than doubling, a strong, well-defined crack can still elevate a coin's desirability. Occasionally, you may encounter a weak strike, where Washington's hair strands appear flattened or the eagle's feathers look soft, a feature collectors sometimes prize for its character, even if it doesn't always boost value dramatically. What might these anomalies fetch at auction? In circulated grades, a standard 1968 quarter is worth face value or at best $1 or $2 to a budget-conscious collector. Shift into mint state territory, and values climb steadily. A solid MS-63 without any errors might trade for $10 to $15, reflecting collector demand for unblemished, no mint mark quarters. When you find that double die obverse graded at MS-65, expect a sale in the range of $250 to $350, depending on the prominence of the doubling and the eye appeal. One standout example, graded MS-66, commanded over $1,000 at a specialty auction last summer. Die crack enthusiasts also saw results. A sharply cracked example in MS-64 condition sold for around $125 recently. Proof coins from 1968 are another story. The San Francisco Mint struck proof quarters with mirror-like fields and frosted devices, and a PR-69 DCAM, Deep Cameo, version can command $30 to $40, while those with minor cameo contrast might go for $15 to $20. Beyond value charts, there are fun stories that bring these coins to life. A collector in Ohio once stumbled upon a 1968 quarter with a die crack so pronounced it looked like a lightning bolt across the eagle's breast. He purchased it in a coin shop lot for $5, only to discover later that similar coins with the same crack pattern sold for double-digit premiums. Elsewhere, a hobbyist recounts finding a 1968 double die obverse in pocket change. It sat unnoticed until she polished off bits of dirt and saw the doubled 1968 glinting. That quarter became the crown jewel of her small error coin cabinet. These anecdotes remind us that the excitement of discovery still thrives in everyday transactions. Condition remains the single biggest factor for 1968 quarters. A coin whose rims are rubbed flat and lettering nearly washed away holds no collector premium. When graded, about uncirculated, -50 Australian dollars, a faint trace of mint luster remains, and these typically bring $3 to $5. Once you hit mint state, values jump. MS-64 examples trade for $15 to $20, while an iClean MS-65 can go for $50 or more. At the highest levels, MS 66 and above, pricing becomes almost purely subjective, driven by strike quality, luster, and surface preservation. An MS 67 double die is a showstopper. A lucky few have sold above $2,000 due to near-perfect surfaces and dramatic doubling. So, the next time you unearth a 1968 quarter in your change or coin roll, pause and examine it carefully. Check the date rim for faint second lines, run your finger along the eagle's wing to detect unexpected cracks, and let light dance across the surface to see if it gleams like a proof coin. That little quarter, born in an era of change and no mint marks, might be a hidden gem waiting to reveal its story, and its true value. Stay curious, and happy collecting.